Nothing too big. Yesterday, it was a grind in the market, wasn't it? Like yesterday was hot. Yesterday the market was up a lot. So we are up 500 points. We were up 500 points. We were 500 points yesterday. Today could be a little bit of a digestion. So anytime you get like a big kind of trend like that, where you have like 500, 600 points, it's natural for the next day to just like literally have what they call an inside day, right? So that's just an inside day would be like you're just chopping around, chopping your balls off all morning. And that there's a chance that could happen. The market's going to open down like 0.5%. We are in a straight up trend though, and we just have to be mindful. Like these like small little gap downs in the market, they've been getting bought up quick. Now, the big issue is going to be, I think, is that, not, I wouldn't even call it issue, but we are sitting like right at resistance on the market. So having a pullback, even to the 9 EMA, 20 SMA, something like that, is something like you just 100% have to be, you've got to be on watch for. So there's two types of things when you're doing market analysis. Obviously, you have your bigger picture, right? So the bigger picture says we're at resistance. And then you have your short-term price action, which leads to the bigger picture. Now, the short-term price action has been fantastic. And we have seen no signs of deterioration in the tape so far that would tell us that the market is going to stall at resistance. So we're opening down a little bit weak today. That's totally cool. That's just the nature of the game. But what we need to be doing is just keeping an eye on like what the heck is gonna happen like around here. So I'm watching the market on like a 15-minute time frame, and I just start to watch the tape, right? Like, do we start to see the deterioration or not? We haven't seen it yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see the market go red to green today and just start ripping back. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if we... Fuckers. Hold on. Can never find anything on this fucking computer. Hold on here. Hold on. There we go. Hey, Mr. David, how are you? So many windows open. So let's go into just like some general watch list. Moral of the story, we're at resistance. We're overbought. We could pull back, but it doesn't mean that we're going to. It's just something that, we're going to have to be aware of. Ideally, man, if this market could just pull back to like, say, even the 20 SMA, like 3-4%, that would really set up some nice, swing trades and something like that. It's really hard, like you guys probably know, right? It's when the market's up this much, like stomaching that last push is just, it's tough, right? It's tough. But let's go in. No matter what, whether market's overbought, underbought, it doesn't really matter. We figure it out. Zurora rising in late trade after reporting smaller than expected Q1 net loss, up 16%. This is a 24 million share float, a $1 billion company. This is the right sector, technology, software. I would actually add this to the list for a potential ORB today, for the simple reason that that's like, it's not, I wouldn't give it a grade A setup because it's not like a breakout to all-time highs or even a breakout to yearly highs. It's more of a gap into kind of like more into like a suction zone. But this sector has been, sector's been hot. Hey, Noah, I watched the QQQs versus the SPY. I mean, if you look at like the hottest stocks of the year that, most people are trading, they're tech stocks. You know what I mean? Like, no longer is America an industrial company, a country. It's all, right, Google, Apple, Facebook, Bookface, stuff like that. Chunk. Check hey, so this one, J Secure 22, I don't even see any news on this thing, but it's cooking. Hey, you got a range break on here on this JKS. This is like a nice solar stock. It's a Chinese solar stock, I believe, though. But you've got yourself a range break on here. Like, that could work. That might be worth a shot. You know, a couple stocks to keep an eye on. This Air and SPR are two interesting names. So SPR is like a supplier for Boeing. SPR is a supplier for Boeing, I believe. And so when Boeing was getting tanked, this SPR, right, was going with it. But what you started to see, right, yesterday, there was like a huge, just like 9 EMA D rider on Boeing. Look at this. So the first dip got bought up, and then like it was off to the races, you know, and then you could see here, like it was just cruising all day. So with this massive move in Boeing, you know, I think that this SPR will also, you know, it should play some catch up. Like it just started to break yesterday. Like this thing is, I think, ready to go. So it's gapping up like 3% today. If it starts to pull back at the open, because Boeing is getting a little bit long in the tooth, you know, if it opened weak today, I would have red to greened it, but I can't chase it on that gap. But if this thing pulls back a little bit, like this thing is gonna have, you know, this thing is gonna have a chance. You can see here, Spirit Airlines to deliver reduced order ship sets to, you know, so it's a Boeing supplier essentially. This thing is, this thing looks nice. Hey, map, I didn't know that. Cool. So let's add that to the list. Good. Yeah, eBay's got some news out. Yeah, eBay refer classified ad, use it. Yeah. The problem with eBay is it's like a huge, thick stock. It's been on a really nice trend. Like it's higher than it's been in years. Might even be at all-time highs. Who even uses eBay anymore? I didn't even, you know, I thought they had been left for dead. That's kind of amazing. I mean, they did change the game, right? Like who wasn't stalking weird things on eBay back in the day, right? Everybody was looking for those 1982 Playboys in the early 2000s on eBay. Look at that thing. This thing might have some chance, but it trades thick. Not my particular cup of tea. So you see all these airlines are gapping. DAL, UAL. Yo, today we short this Spirit Airlines. So what we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it is a big break. It is a key. It's breaking a level, but the exhaustion on it actually, I think. See, we got a gap fill here, right to about 20. We're right into this gap fill here. I like this one. What do you guys think? We shred this thing. This may, we'll see how it reacts around 20. Never short anything blindly. What you need to see is some type of, on a 5-minute, 2-minute, right? Some type of deterioration. Either it starts to fill the gap, you start to see a green to red kind of action. You need to see, or lower highs. But I think this is a spot where we got to look. Ideally, like right off at the gate, like this thing, you know, just starts to cook. And I'm talking like, you know, if we get this thing like out of the gate, like just spike up, we'll start to look for the reversal. Ideally, like an over under on 20, we could get ourselves a nice little short on this. I'm excited on this one. What do you think? Good. That's my favorite idea for today. Number 2. Yo, this NVAX had some news out today. You know, it's holding up okay. Watch this one, though. If it starts to get smoked, so that, you know, yesterday there was some news out that, you know, there's going to be like a handful of companies that are on some list. NVAX was not on the list. It started to get tanked. But you saw like a big flush in this thing. Now, we've got like a lot of support here. There's going to be an inflection point around this. You know, like if it starts to break under this level, it's going to get smoked out, right? Because you got all this room to fall. But if it holds, it's going to end up, it could turn into something. But we're right at an inflection point, and that's what I want to trade around, right? I like those kind of trades where, like, I have an inflection point and I can trade around it. This thing is hot. Work is right at, so you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 days in a row. It's just sitting right at these all-time highs. Watch and see. If it pings into this, we'll watch for some type of reversal signal. We may be able to catch a nice short on this one. They might pull the rug just at this resistance. Now, long term, this looks amazing, and we probably want to be buyers of it on some type of dip. But for today, when you're getting this extended into resistance, we've got to take this thing down. Add that. Peloton. So Peloton's had a nice couple, we had a nice one-day pullback into the EMAs. Now, if this thing breaks over 50, it's that's the release point on obviously its all-time high breakout. Let's watch. I think that this one starts to make its way back. We've got a nice breakout, and that would be to all-time highs. These type of trades have been working really well. I like that one too. Next, PDD. One, two. So check this 69. I would say 69.50, 69.75. It's about right under 70 is a key breakout. This is a 30-minute chart. You can see this was a couple weeks ago. Tested it on the 26th. You tested it on the 2nd, on the 3rd. Today's the 4th. The 9 EMA is starting to tighten up on this. Anytime you're looking at resistance spots, right? The more times you test it, tap, tap, tap. The more times you test it, the more powerful it gets. So when it finally breaks over, it's like a pressure cooker. It gets released. It gets released higher. The 70 is key. Set an alert for it. If it starts to meander its way towards there, the game is on. Keep that on watch. I was hoping for an exhaustion gap on this. And frankly, it's opening weak on Zoom. Zoom is still in play. The week open, if we had a big gap, 235, 240, we would have a nice short on it. The week open actually takes the short play out of the picture. We need one more probably spike on this before we try to take this thing short. So let's talk about just some other stocks that are sitting up on the long side. This is Dave & Buster's. You can see here, this is a really nice base breakout. So the patterns that are working right now in this market the last few days are the stocks that have been sitting near bottoms. So we know the tech stocks have been hot, right? The IPOs have been hot. But the stocks that are actually really cooking right now are these base breakout patterns. These patterns that have been sitting there near a base and are starting to come out of it, like SPR, like Play. These are all beautiful ones. I mean, these are all actually pretty much swings. Man, this looks nice. See Siggy Bear, same thing. You got a nice rounding pattern. These are the heaters. The same thing. We were talking about this right the other day. DRN, same thing. You got one test, two tests, three tests. You got a lot of room on something like this. This is one of those things, right? You catch the right entry, throw 1,000 shares at it, you might make 5 points, 6 points on it. You're gonna be sitting pretty. Dun 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 dun. Day 2 play for TTD. Man, I had this thing at the open yesterday. Turned it all day. I screwed it up with the sell. Man, regrets, right? You're opening down about 1%. This thing busted out its highs here. Any kind of pullback on this at the open today, I think gets bought up, and we've got to come in and try to long this bad boy. What do you think? Yeah, I think so. Dun, 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 dun. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. Damn, Reed, you got a 319. You're holding it? What the fuck? Nio, Genus. Man, you guys love. This Genus was a nickel like 2 weeks ago. A nickel. If you want to come in and buy this thing up, you'll be my guest. Don't be my guest, actually. Don't. It's really long in the tooth. Yeah, like it's a trading vehicle. The question is just managing your risk on something like this is tough because the rug will pull. The rug will pull like any second when you're not looking. I mean, frankly, you could get halted on it. There's like a, and it could just, this thing will be $2. I wouldn't promise you, but I would lay my balls on the kitchen table and say it's probably going to be $2-3 in a couple weeks. See, that's tricky. Nio, holy shit. Nio's at least like a real company, probably an easier play. You're getting long in the tooth on this one too. You're up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Not really ideal, but we'll go in and I don't know. To me, that's just, it's too extended at that point. You're up 50% the last couple days. Now you do have a breakout. When you're up this much, like watch for pullback. You can hit it on a pull, but you just can't hit it on strength because you're up too many days in a row. But this is our list. I'm sticking to it. Oh yeah, VTIQ definitely. So VTIQ, it held that 30 spot yesterday. It started to rebound. This, I think, is it's got a chance to keep going. I'd add that to the list. Hot damn. That's my list. I'm sticking to it. What are we missing? What are we missing? Oh, yeah. Good. Work. Sweet. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. Anybody got any tickers that they want to watch? That they want to go over? Hold on here. Fuckers. Oh, there it is. Yeah, VTIQ is Nicola now. Yeah, they changed the name to Nicola, NKLA. That's alright. There it is. Hey Lisa, how are you? Let's take a look. UNIF. This one doesn't have any volume on it. This thing is probably a zero. It doesn't even trade. If I'm looking at the right ticker, man. AAL actually has a nice chart on it. This one's not as extended. To me, this stock's like more of a swinger. It's you got 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests of the breakout. Yeah, I don't know for today if it's a long, but I think, its long-term chart for the next couple weeks looks really good. Costco's really coiled up too. If it comes out of this range, like that could turn into a swing trade, I'd be cool with that. Faux show. Good. All right, this is our list. I'm sticking to it. Yesterday was hot. Yesterday was hot, man. We closed like men of honor yesterday. We closed like men of honor yesterday to close. Play, I got that on the list too, James. We closed like men of honor yesterday. I think this Chewy is something you definitely keep on watch. So all IPOs that are at all-time highs are in play. Any IPO. So I got a whole list of these bad boys. Right? Hold on here. Yeah, I got a whole list of these things. Anyone that's like nearing all-time highs, nearing highs, they're all in play. These have been the stocks that have been moving the most the last few months. So you got to keep them on the list. So this is my list. I'm sticking to it. All right, this is my list. I'm sticking to it. All right, let's go have some fun. Prognish, it's there too.